And some of you that were thinking about fix and flipping, I'm not good at numbers. I know what I can, the reason I deal with lower end houses is because I know what I can afford and I know what the rental will bring for those. But I've been keeping my eye on this hoarder's house for about 6, 8 years. I didn't realize it was a hoarder's house until about 8 months ago. And one of my regular customers that I have called me up. She lives down the street from him and said that she's going into a nursing home. Took them 10 days to haul everything out of that house. And I've got pictures of it. It was from floor to ceiling. And so I've gotten my name to the lady, and the lady is definitely interested in me coming and talking to her. But I'm not going to go by myself. I'm going to take Steve Sanders that does it all the time. And I've already talked to Steve. Steve is up for it. I know that I'm going to actually have to go to work now because Steve does his own contracting. So I'm going to be his helper through the project. And it's going to be, I'm going to try to get more owner finance with the lady because it drove her nuts just having the contractor come in and spend 10 days hauling everything out. And she didn't even have to be there, but it caused her a lot of stress. So I can't see her trying to redo the thing herself. It's just beyond her will and her skill set. And so after we talk to the lady for a while, what I want to do, you know, it may take an hour or two to sit down and talk to her, but after we get our numbers and everything, we'll go back and talk to her. And I'm going to say, look, if you rehab this thing, it's going to take you 2 or 3 months. Steve and I can do it in 2 or 3 months. Why don't you carry the loan for us? And I'm not going to mention interest. If she brings interest up, then I'll mention it. I know that her pain point is that her aunt that lived in the house has gone into the nursing home. They need money to pay for the nursing home. So what I'm going to suggest is that we pay the nursing home fee as long as we own the property as part of the price for the property. And so that'll come off the price of the property, but that way she has no money out of her pocket. She'll realize that, yes, we can get it done as fast as a contractor can, and she'll probably come out better by using us. I've got pictures of a house that I rehabbed that, you know, I own and rent out. Steve has lots of pictures that he can bring, and I'm going to have him bring a folder so if she wants to see work that we do, that, you know, she'll feel confident that we can do what we say we're going to do. And if I have to put, you know, $10,000, $20,000 down, that'll be fine. I just don't want to have to go to the bank and get it through the bank because that and close, you know, that'll cost a lot more that way. And that's one of the points I'm going to bring out to her is that by her waiting, it'll save us money, and it'll make her more money because we're paying for her nursing home fees while it's being rehabbed. So you got to think outside the box. You can't just, if you're going to, whether you're fixing flipping or you're wholesaling, and all you wholesalers, the main thing I don't like about wholesaling is I can't get deals like this done because you guys are just wanting cash. And so I can't go and talk to the buyer and try to talk in just some kind of owner finance or part owner finance or something like that, or even renting the place from them. But if you brought me a good enough deal, I'd still go ahead and move on it. Don't not send me good deals if you happen to have them.
Keep us updated on that, Lee, as you progress that. That'll be great. I want to definitely let us know how it works out.
Well, if I get the thing, I'm going to call it the RIA project because I haven't talked to Steve yet. I'm going to try to get Steve to let anybody that wants to come in and see the project, work on the project, to have them work on it. Steve doesn't like doing that normally, but he may make an exception to this. If he doesn't, that's fine because I'd rather do the deal with Steve than not do it, you know. So, but I'd sure like to open it up to everybody in the RIA group so that everybody that wants some experience and see how the project goes. If you see these pictures I got on my phone, you'd say, how could he ever buy this thing? But it'll be a neat project, that's for sure.
Lee, if you want, you can pass it to me. I mean, we have cash to pay the guy. I mean, the lady, if you want to.
What's that, Ralph?
Like, if you want, I mean, we have cash to pay. I mean, you can just send me the deal. I can just give you $2,000 and you just go rest. You don't have to labor or do nothing.
I have always wanted to do a deal with Steve. I've known him for 30 years. We were singles together in Crestview Baptist Church. So that's how long I've been married. This year will be 30 years, and I've known him since before then. And I've always wanted to do a deal with him. And we've looked at several deals, but never put one together. And this one may not come together. But if it does, I really want to do a deal. I'm not adverse to working. I just would rather have people send me money through rents and not work. So I don't mind working if I have to. And I would enjoy the experience of working with Steve. I like him. He's a good guy. He's like you, Ralph, man. He's as honest as the day is blue, you know?
Thanks.
Anybody else got any questions?
Hey, Lee, I got a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm Thomas, and this is my wife, Jennifer. We own a rental property in Fort Worth, and we live here in Odessa. We moved out of here a couple years ago. We've been saving for the last couple years for a down payment for a third house to turn into a rental for a long-term lease situation. And we're looking in the area. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. We've almost got the funds in hand, which would allow us to keep some savings for emergency funds. But with the way the market is, it looks like it's going to become volatile or could become volatile. Is that a concern of yours? Would you hold off for 90 days, 6 months, and continue just stacking cash, or would you jump in and acquire another property at this time?
Well, myself, I've been waiting for this. The last 5 years, I've looked at everything that's just came, but I haven't actually looked for property, you know, physically. And now I'm going out every Saturday knocking on doors. I go door knocking when I look for property. Even 5 years ago, when I bought my last properties, that's how I found it. And I've looked at quite a few over this last 5 year period, but I've been paying off all my rentals and got my last one paid off last year sometime. And so I've been stacking up money. And when the oil prices first started going down, I thought, oh, good. Now it's the time to go start buying. And then when the virus hit, I thought, it's really the time. But you got to make sure that a lot of people are going to be stuck still way up here thinking their house is worth this much. And that's why I haven't bought anything, because people are wanting too much for their house. Yes, the market could buy it for that, but I wouldn't buy it for that, because I'm always real conservative. If the market goes down, I want to be able to follow it with my rents and be real comfortable. And so if I go and get a loan and buy a place right now, you know, I'll be able to follow the market wherever it goes, because I won't buy something that costs, you know, $200,000 when I think that it should be at 150. So just look at your numbers and make sure that it's something that you're comfortable with. How about you, Justin and Ralph?
Go, Ralph. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
Well, so definitely you have to do what feels right for both of you. So you have to make those agreements. But, you know, this is always a good time to go out and always be doing something. We spoke about that just a little bit ago. You need to go out and take action. It's the only way you're going to get experience, and experience is what you need. Even if you go through some deals and they don't make out, or you just the numbers don't work, at least you're doing the numbers. Now on that, so keep trying, always stay diligent, just shift your business plans, guys. You got to shift your business plans. You know, we're shifting weekly, and even we're doing a startup even in the middle of all of this. So in that, you have to be able to make changes on the fly. You have to have communication between your partners. And the best thing I will say, though, for your question direct, the knife is still falling. We're not done. This there's lots of good things going on. You're always going to have a lot of places that look really good, in the market, making us feel that we're getting somewhere. And we're going to have these places one day that makes you feel that the market's falling apart. But this is a cycle. Now, no matter what, people have to have the primaries, and that is one was, is a place to live. So keep that always. You're in the right market or in the right business, but the market is going to shift majorly. And if I'm still going to hold to my future, I still see a recession. If this is not going to change, I don't care with presidencies. We have too many lagged issues still to catch up. We have too much volatility in other countries. Of course, America, like I've told you, is going to be better than other parts. Texas is going to be better than other states, and Permian Basin is going to be better than other places and other cities. So we may feel pretty, rough for a little while, but it's going to still, when the smoke clears, we're going to be in a better light than other locations and other places. So invest here, but don't jump out there. In my opinion, the knife is still falling and you don't want to grab it. So wait, you still have forbearances, guys. Do your math, everything. If you just pick on a few things that watch your neighbors, watch everyone that you're talking to. You have a lot of forbearances still happening. You have a lot of job issues. We're still going into the first cold cycle. So let us get through that. But even if you just watch the forbearance cycles, right now we're at 6 months. So you have a lot of pullback. There was people starting to pay, but we're actually seeing forbearance is probably going to pick up this next quarter to next month even. So and remember, investors have to be paid on the back end of those. So there's a lot of money being pumped in from the government. That's what we're feeling good about. And we have spoke about this. The government needs to pour more money back into our economy in a creditism-based world. If they don't, we will go into a long-term recession, which is a depression. And that's just analytics, period. Watch cycles. This is just another cycle. There's no way to put everyone back to work overnight, ladies and gentlemen. So work, create networks, keep your friends and family close, and help who you can, because this is the business that people need. You have to help others. So provide something, and they're going to give you something.
Well, let me follow up with where our line of thinking is right now, and then you can chime in and let me know if you disagree. But what we're considering is we're looking at about the $200,000 range, putting about 20% down, and that should put us in a mortgage with taxes and insurance at about $1,500 or $1,600. Currently, that would put us in about a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and in the area, according to my research, that would rent out on average for about $2,400 right now. Now, even if that fell down to the $1,500-1,600 range and I still broke even, we're still building equity. We might not have any cash flow, but we're still building long-term wealth. And while our goal is to build cash flow so that we can retire and enjoy life when we get older, building equity and building long-term wealth for our family and future generations is not a bad thing.
Good. Yeah, wealth, guys. Riches and wealth is how far you can see yourself in the future. So yes, you need cash flows. Yeah, the 20% down. You can even we're coming back to even getting closer to 5% down. So you can keep a little cash in your pocket. You're correct on your down payment. You just need to ask yourself, can you hold that if you can't find someone to lease? And the reason why, Cuthbert, do y'all do property management in your broker?
We don't do it here at JPS,
So
but
there's a lot. That's what shifted. The market shifted from selling. Everyone took their houses off for a couple reasons. Forbearance, put money back in their pocket, and or they were selling or couldn't sell. Investors also put houses, back on heavily onto the rental market. So our property managements that are connected with agents and brokers, they see huge inventory right now in rentals. So pay attention to that. Make sure that you do have the cash flows to be able to take care of that mortgage that you're going to take on. And you may wait, if you can save. So that was your question. Wait till, wait till you see the, right before the recovery. Wait for bank, you're going to see it. Bank real estate are coming. They're already here, but you're going to see it more prevalent. When you start seeing that, that's really when you want to buy. So just pay attention to your in and out cycles. You want to buy when the market's low so that you can get that appreciation of the recovery, and you guys will ride that, and you can cash out all of that free money, and then wait for the top of it, and then either hold or sell. So, and in that meantime, yeah, you've had someone paying for your home. But if you can save, I would save. You really. I have other people ask me these questions that are personal. Friends, I would tell you to wait through the cold cycle. Unless you find deals and you guys are real good investors, don't cut your teeth in this crisis period before it gets to where you can have a little bit more equity. So.
Cash is king. That's what cash is king, man.
It is. Cash is king. Motivation is coming. Ralph, cash is king, but motivation, just as Lee was talking about, that's terms, guys. So you want to really try to find out where you can help people. And a lot of times that's pain for them, but you're going to provide a solution. And that's where things happen. You don't need cash, as Lee's talking. That's that middle ground where you can go and find those homes. You guys have 20% down. Go find you a deal. Go find you a buyer or a seller that needs help. That's who you're looking for. So you may or may not even need to really go and, like I said, go put your name across a line. Do that with a buyer or as a buyer to a seller. Sorry, guys. So go find someone with motivation that you can help in this crisis. So that's and that's what we're all looking for, is who we can help in this situation. But motivation is your number one thing to look for coming. Everyone from foreclosures, that hasn't even really started to tick yet. So you have a lot of short sale stuff coming. Yeah. Motivation, guys. Motivation makes things move.
Justin, what are your thoughts on Marco says on partnering notes again? What split do y'all recommend? I always like 50-50, but it's whatever, to me, it's whatever y'all can put together. What about you, Justin?
Well, that comes down to the deal. Wholesaling, let me read this properly. I don't want to get this wrong. I think what he's, so if you're going to partner on a note for a wholesale deal, is that what you're getting out of that, Lee? I don't see a different angle with Marcos. So I mean, 50%. I don't know. I'm partnering to a note partnering on the note again. I don't really.
He's not talking about a note. He's just saying, getting back on that subject. If he does a wholesale deal with the guy that's wholesale the property, and if he finds a buyer, I believe is what he's talking. Yeah, see, he's shaking his head yes.
Okay. So, yeah, if you find a buyer, so you're wanting to just wholesale out an agreement. Is that correct? Where is he on my screen? Yeah, so you're wanting to just wholesale the agreement. So, we wholesale off notes, for little to a lot. It just depends on the property and what you're selling. If you're going to go partner with someone, yeah, see, that's the angle. And a lot of wholesalers try to find this angle where they want to partner, not really sell the note. They don't really want to and I think that's where you're at. You're trying to get maybe a bigger piece by maybe getting involved or doing some work, or, since you had the deal, that's worth something. It doesn't always work out that way. but yeah, it does depend on the work. Thomas kind of put that down here. I was reading. So yes, you really want to make sure that you're going to get something for the note. And yeah, we start out at about 2,000, 3,000, and up to, it goes on up. But on an average wholesale of a good, flip house, yeah, you're going to get about 2K to 5K. So, but it just depends on how much equity you're getting and what terms. Are you getting any terms on that note? So if you can keep the wholesaler from having to put a lot of cash up to the buyer right off the bat, then you can get a lot more out of that. So it just depends on what you negotiate and how good your agreement is. So sorry for the confusion there, but I hope I answered that. And I'll go ahead and read off what Thomas put on here. He said, at Marcus, to me, it would depend on who has to do with the majority of the work. If the only thing he is doing is providing the home and you have to do the rest of the work, then 50% may not be good for you. It may be good to do with Rao, what he suggested, and say you will pay them $2,000 for the deal or something like that. So pretty much the same. Yeah, wholesaling, guys, is a lot of work, and it's great to have someone bring you a deal, and investors appreciate that, but there still has to be a lot of equity in there to make the exit work. So. All right.
There's some other questions here. I think that this one is from me. It says, Ralph, can you discuss some more about how you secure your funding for your projects? When I started, securing funds was actually one of the things that actually scared the hell out of me. Like, when I started this business in 2017, for almost 1 year, I didn't do nothing because of funding. Because I was thinking just too much. I was just thinking, how is someone just going to lend you money? If you for those that have been in this business for long, and if you keep doing this business, you find out funding is actually the most easiest thing. To me, funding is actually the most easiest. If you have integrity and if your numbers work out well, you're definitely going to get the funding. You don't just go get a deal because you just want to get a deal, because you want to get a deal under your belt. Then it's going to be, you stress yourself out, you stress whoever is giving you the funds out. For about a year, for a little bit over a year and a half right now, I don't think I've used any hard money lender. I have like a lot of private money up to like $2 million. So funding to me is actually the easiest. The hardest is to find a deal. It's actually more difficult to find a deal than to get the funding. I mean, that's just my take.
No,
Justin will contribute to that.
Oh yes, there's plenty of money. Plenty of other people's money.
Look, I mean,
yeah, we get calls all the time from the East Coast, just trying to find places to put it. They're other people's inactive money is the best. And coming up through this winter, you're gonna, in most cases there's parties and things. It won't be quite as much, but if you get around a few people, ask them what they're doing with their inactive money. And I say that because the United States is saving more money in their savings accounts than they ever have in the history of the U.S. So there's more money in people's bank accounts. If you need 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, or $1 million, someone has it. And you just have to start talking to people and start doing your diligence. You have to be confident in what you're out to accomplish, and people will get behind you. Relationships matter. Bankers, same thing. You have to have a relationship with your banker. You need to be able to go in and sit with them, talk to them, see them face to face. We've talked about that. It's a little shift, but you get my point. It's all about who you know, and you will find the money. Go find your deals, but at the same point, you will find the money when you have motivation. But yeah, Ralph, I could understand. You're looking for money. It's after you've got it though, it becomes a lot easier, doesn't it, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's experience. Once you've ridden the bike and you've slept a few times, it's really easy to get back on and do it again and again.
Yes, sir.
The next question that came down was, does anybody know a good divorce list, vacant properties list, foreclosures, probate lists?
Your courthouse. And then list, your courthouse guys, first off, your county clerk, they put them out normally every, they have a cycle, but it's every second Tuesday, I think, connector, and Midland, I think it's the same. So, yep. And you got guys like Cuthbert, make good networks with these guys. You always need an agent. They have access to MLS. That's multiple listing services. You need to have friends with MLS. So, really, and not to sorry, Cuthbert, but take Cuthbert to lunch, guys. So
And buy his lunch.
yes. So MLS is something just to get it. Asking for run you some numbers. People definitely like to help others. If you can repay the favor. But yeah. So where do you find it? Craigslist. Really, again, it goes back to talking to people. Just like Ralph said, he talked to one person. He was across the street. He bought another home. He then bought the home next to it. That's how it works. You'd be amazed at how quick things chain up. People are always looking for solutions, and you just have to be the solution. And once you act confident and you start getting experience and you start talking and walking it, that's when the world starts to offer those things. So, it's just the way things are, like I said. So it's a great commodity. Everybody has to move one. So just find everybody. Everybody has a house, most everybody. So they need to sell one. Just start talking.
Hey, Justin, I wanted to ask you earlier, you mentioned, I think 5% down. Is that what you're seeing on rental properties? I thought there was a 20% requirement.
Okay. So are you a first-time home buyer?
No, our next property would be our third home.
Okay. Do you have mortgages now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Call me and we'll talk.
Okay.
You can get close. We have, investors they're coming back into the market a lot. So so our next quarter meeting, the 20th. So I'll be down there another week or so. So you guys call if y'all need anything. I'll literally walk into the broker's or LO's desk. So we'll make sure your paperwork's processing. So yeah, call me. And Cuthbert, you guys do refis? You got people doing a lot of refis coming back? Are you hearing a bunch of refis through your?
Yeah, like I do get calls about lenders and stuff. So yeah, definitely. I'll get your info.
Cashing out. A lot of people cashing out equity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Any more questions?
all right, Michelle, say goodnight. We've got a lot of contact information. Everybody grab that stuff from in the chats. Make good notes of all of that.
Before you all sign off, there's 3 little dots down at the bottom of the chat. And if you click on that, it says save chat, and you can click on that, and then it will save that chat to your computer so you can look at what everybody said in their info and stuff later on.
Yep. That's right. And Lee, are you posting these out on YouTube?
Yes, it'll take probably a week or so. Now I'll have 2 videos this time, so I'll have to put it into the computer and edit it and put it together. But yeah, it'll be on YouTube in about a week.
Okay. Caught part of that, Lee.
What's that?
We only caught part of that. What did you say?
It'll be about a week before I can get it up on YouTube. I've got to edit it first.
You can just cut me all the way out. Lee. Can't keep him in today. I'm going to have to get with Michelle and Lee and put better.
Yep, I'm cutting out. So I'm going to say goodnight. I'll leave it open for everybody.